Hello and welcome to the Kickstarter show. What's left in your wallet? We're going to talk about some new Kickstarters today. We are going to talk about some Kickstarters that are successfully funded by lots.
Yes.
And then we're going to teach some people on
so successfully funded.
So successfully funded. And then we're going to teach some people about what to do and not do in Kickstarter.
Yeah, we've got 4 brand new first-timers that we're going to talk about, so this is pretty much just going to be a Kickstarter class that's going to go on.
By the way, each one of these projects we actually had interest in, on
Yes.
top of the fact that they're new. We're not just picking them out because we want to teach a lesson.
And because they were solid, and they just need that...
They missed it by like that much.
Some varying degrees of off the mark, but some really good stuff, and we want to talk about that too.
So, we're going to start with the ones that are established Kickstarter people or that have already funded and that we've talked about before. First of which, I'm just going to start off with the amazing This Is Not a Test Kickstarter.
Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
I don't think anyone saw this coming. So, for those of you, just to give you some numbers, 307 backers as of the time I wrote this down. Excuse me, 309. I can't even read my own writing.
No, I think it just went up.
It just went up, okay. 309 backers as of the time of filming, and almost $25,000 as of the time of filming. This is from a man who had sold 89 PDFs.
Yeah. So, really good stuff here.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff.
Definitely showing a large increase in...
And so much bigger than they expected to go.
Right.
Like, their $1 million plan tapped out at 10 grand. Yeah. They hit that in 2 days.
And more importantly is the hitting more than 250 backers. When you can hit more than 250 backers, you have enough support for your game that you can now forward that to gaming stores and gaming clubs.
They're like, look, people want my stuff.
Exactly. Yep. And so this was really key. Not only does it help them get the product out there, but it demonstrates there are people wanting this product. It demonstrates a market, and that's only going to help the company going forward. So good job.
I just realized we don't have our board up, but our campaign, which is just on test, we really like the game too.
Yeah,
but not that.
We've been playing it ourselves.
Yeah.
Also, this is going to pretty much our St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah.
Episode.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Between the two of us and our wall, we have managed to be.
We've got the flag.
We properly have the tricolor up. So.
Okay. All right. So another Kickstarter that we've talked about before. Global Defense Force.
Yes.
The 15mm sci-fi guys.
Yep.
60 figures. Funded.
Yes.
Yay! So now we're into stretch goals.
How long do they have left?
2 weeks.
I think about that.
About 2 weeks. So yes.
If you're not in that one yet, though.
If you're into 50mm gaming, sci-fi, 60 figures.
60 individual sculpts. I mean,
right. 60 individual sculpts.
You can't do much better than that.
No. Like, I think you and I literally, when we saw the picture of, because they have a picture literally of all 60 sculpts, and you're just like...
Yep. 5 across, 6 down.
You're like,
beautiful.
5 across, 6 down is not enough. That's only 30.
There's 2 sets of 30.
Ah, 2 sets of 30. Okay. Okay. Anyway. But we wanted to mention them again. They've funded, so this is a great time to jump in because now you know that the thing's going to be made.
Guaranteed to get your toys.
Yep. All right. Another one that the guys who've been around for a little bit. This isn't their first Kickstarter, but it's, I think, the first time we've ever talked about them. The Modern Figures for Gaming. It's a Bobby Jackson project where he sculpted a bunch of modern U.S. troopers, and it's set in Africa, so they are the opposing forces.
Because they could be anything.
They could be anything, right. It's 28mm. It's like I said, modern skirmish for Africa. The terrain in this set was amazing.
Yep.
And
which is just NBA terrain and stuff that they have on their website.
Right.
So, but great stuff.
Great stuff. And I loved the add-ons of the die-casted helicopters, Humvees, like to make it look correct. And then the guys look good because Bobby Jackson's a good sculptor.
Not to mention, I mean, guys, if you play any modern, near future, or even pretty far sci-fi,
you can go post-apoc. To a certain
that
extent.
Striker, really good choice for an APC. Even sci-fi, even really far grimdark future-y sci-fi, that Striker's a great choice for an APC.
I want the Humvee, and I'm going to make it for This Is Not a Test. Post-apoc the heck out of it.
Cool.
That'd be awesome. So there's some great conversion pieces too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to go all Route 666?
I might go all Route 66 on this.
Nice.
6. I missed a 6 thing.
You were a 6 short.
I was a 6 short. But they did a really good job. And then we also wanted to point out, they did the risks and rewards really well out.
Yeah, and we're going to get into this a little bit later on when we do the how-to show part of it. But risks and rewards, guys, I'm going to come back to this. Most people do this wrong. Most people don't understand what this section is.
So this is a good example to look at of what this should be.
Perfectly done. Perfectly done.
All right. So those are all really good Kickstarters you all should be part of.
Yes.
Go do that.
Go throw some money at those guys because they're doing it right and they're doing it well. And they have all three of them have a really good track record.
Yes.
Granted, 2 of them have Kickstarter track records. This is not a test, does not.
Right.
However, this is not a test.
Has a community track
Has
record.
a year in the community plus at this point.
Right.
With a owner that is really reactive.
Yep.
If you're on the Facebook page, I dare you to put up a post that doesn't get a personal response from him within 3 hours. It just doesn't happen.
He is
and
that
almost
right.
always within an hour.
Yep.
I mean, he's got a kid, so the hour doesn't always happen.
Right, fair enough.
But,
you know,
yeah.
Kids take priority.
Exactly. But really, really responsive, really good company.
All right. So now we're going to get into our lessons part of the game.
Okay.
Here. All right, it's our show. The first one we're going to talk about is Blackrain Alpha Strain.
Okay.
All right.
Before we go into these 4,
Okay.
I'm going to start with the one thing that I'm not going to have to go into and explain 4 different times.
Sure.
We're just going to start with this one once
Okay.
because a lot of
where you're
first
going with
timers
this.
do this one wrong.
Okay.
Okay. If you are running a Kickstarter
Mm-hmm.
and you are trying to, yeah, I'm getting ready.
Uh-huh.
If you're running a Kickstarter and you are trying to approach crowdfunders, people that use crowdfunding, pretty much.
Oh, I'm going to owe somebody $1.
Womp womp. So, if you're into crowdfunding and you are coming into Kickstarter, there are people that pretty much use crowdfunding as a lifestyle.
Yes.
And that's why crowdfunding has gotten so huge, because you have a cross-section of the us are definitely in that list.
Yeah.
You have a cross-section of the population that likes seeing new projects, new companies trying to evolve, and then want to try to help those groups. However, they really want to help those groups when those people are also part of the crowdfunding community. So, if your first project shows first created, 0 backed, you just lost that entire subset of crowdfunders.
Yep.
Because they now take insult to the fact that you're just trying to get their money. You're not trying to be part of the crowdfunding community.
Yep.
You are part of the crowdfunding leeching community, and generally that's not taken well.
Nope.
So, the best thing you can do if you're starting off, please, I say this at least once a month.
You do. It's amazing this message hasn't gotten farther out.
Well, we don't have that big of a reach yet, but
Yeah.
still. Start up your company, start your Kickstarter page, back a minimum of 10 projects. They don't all have to be Kickstarter, but they have to be things that if I look at those projects, I can figure out something about what you're about.
Yep.
So back miniature Kickstarters, back literature book or comic book Kickstarters for your genre, back tech projects if you're trying to do a futuristic post-apocalyptic kind of company.
Sure.
Back humanitarian causes, back whatever you want to back, and back them for like $1 a piece, because I can't see how much you spent, only that you backed it.
Right.
So, if I see first created 8 backed, first created 12 backed, I am far more likely as a crowdfunder, let alone a miniature gamer, but a crowdfunder, to want to back your project.
All right.
Literally, companies cost themselves hundreds of dollars,
For not spending
thousands
10.
of dollars
For not spending 10.
for not spending 10
Yep.
on their first projects.
Yep.
Sometimes on their second and third projects.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's the worst. He's like, 3rd created, 0 backed. Like, you people really just don't get this.
Yeah. At that point, I
I'm
just
not.
won't back it.
I'm
Right.
just not going to do it. I'll forgive the first time.
Yeah. Because they don't know.
Because I don't know.
They've heard that Kickstarter is a thing. They've never been on it. Once they're on it, they see how it works. They go, oh, let me give something back to other people.
Right. That I can live with.
On that, there's a subset of people in Kickstarter. If you really, really want to be good, and I'm not suggesting this should be a standard. I'm not saying you have to do this with your program. They have to do this with the campaign. However, there is a pay it forward subset to Kickstarter that says, this shall be a pay it forward campaign. 1% of everything that we bring in will go forward to other Kickstarter programs. Again, This is spending nickels to get dimes.
Because literally people, I know people who have gone, well, I wasn't sure I was going to back it, but if he's going to put some of that back into to other projects that I might be interested in down the road and helping fund those, well, then it's worth me backing this guy's stuff.
Exactly.
And that's literally the logic that a lot of crowdfunders have. Like, well, if this guy's going to put some of the money back in, I'm more willing to give him some of mine.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it's
a big thing.
It's
and
a thing.
literally all 4 of these fall victim to this particular problem.
Right.
So we're going to 4 projects.
Each time when we go to places where they missed, I'm just going to say, first created, 0 backed, and we're going to go on, so I don't have to do this 10 minutes 4 times in a row.
There you go.
Because I do not like repeating myself.
Yeah, and he has to do it every month. And I'm the one who takes the brunt, people. Just saying. All right.
Why don't they listen to me?
I don't know. Okay. All right, so Blackrain Alpha Strain.
Blackrain Alpha Strain. Actually, only 2 words. Sounds like 4, only 2. Good job on the title.
Yes. It's for a new game that's coming out. It would be what we qualify as a board game, because there are 2 factions. It actually does have a board, but it can be played on a tabletop, so it does fit our motions.
And it is, in fact, a board game with options to play it not on its starting board, which is cool. I like this. This is solid. Just, by the way, for people who might be watching the show for the first time, because I think we're going to get some of those this week.
We might.
When we say this is a board game, we're not insulting the project, we're not insulting board games. This is the formula. 2 factions, you're a board game, not a war game. 3 factions, you're a board game with options. 4 factions or more,
you're a war game.
You're now a war game.
Congratulations. And it's a distinction we make so that our backers or people who watch us know exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
We're not even saying it's a bad project, but understand that when there's only 2 options, an A and a B side,
you're more limited in what you can play.
And you're more limited in your audience.
Right.
This is actually something that you and I kind of rarely get. If you want to be in the tabletop gaming market, having only 2 factions at launch limits the number of people who are going to back your project.
Absolutely.
Because maybe I don't really like those. Maybe there's something in your world that I would love. But the 2 options you've given me, I'm like, I'm okay.
And perfect example, Blackrain right here.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm interested in your project, but you know what? I don't like playing human forces.
Yep.
I'm one of those xenophiles. I love playing freaky models.
This is a perfect example.
I'm not going to back you.
Until you get
to stretch goals and your 3rd faction unlocks, which is a xenoform.
Right.
Or if I'm a really good crowdfunder, I will back you, hoping that we get to that point.
So that I'll then back in more.
And then I'll put in more.
But I'll give you a little bit to say, all right, I want to see this project get there, but
Right.
I'm not committing tons of money to something I'm not going to play.
Or even worst case, if I do commit tons of money and you don't make it to that level,
I'm backing out at
in the last 48 hours, you're going to lose the $400 I threw onto your Kickstarter to try to get you to that point if you didn't make it.
Right.
So there is no good side to that.
Yeah.
Just
and
throw them in there.
It's a shame because it's actually kind of a unique take. Like they're doing cyberpunk, which there isn't a ton of tabletop cyberpunk games out there, and the renders, you and I both went, those are gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I mean, and
of cyberpunks, there's not a lot of cyberpunk right now. There's not a lot of good dystopic cyberpunk that incorporates drones and mecha.
Yes.
I think you're going to see a lot more of this coming forward because the genre is evolving to what the real world setting shows the genre would now be, as opposed to 20 years ago when it started. But they're ahead of the curve.
Yes.
They've got mecha and drones in their dystopic future. Perfect.
No, they did a great job. I mean, everything about the models themselves, I was in love with.
Yeah.
This is not about the project so much as it is about how they laid out their Kickstarter.
Exactly.
That our issues are. We think the art was incredible in this thing. You and I both went through the whole thing. I want that. I want that. I want that.
And not only that, there's the stylistics of their art.
They nailed it.
Very dystopic. Very literally, we're watching the Kickstarter video,
which was perfect at 2 minutes.
This is beautiful cyberpunk right here, folks.
And it was before we even read the description. And he goes, "This feels a very cyberpunk feel." And then we scroll down. Realistic cyberpunk 3D game.
Bloody cyberpunk game. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Perfect.
So just everything about it felt right for what they were trying to do.
Yep.
Which we really liked. So they did a lot of really good things. Oh, by the way, if you're into this kind of thing, go give it a look. We think it's probably worth looking at.
We're not saying don't. None of the companies we're going to talk about today.
We're saying don't back.
Throw money at all these guys. They all deserve it.
All right. So the next one, Starship Troopers.
Well,
did we miss something?
Things they did good, like we kind of
things
glossed
they did
on.
bad.
Things that did good. The video
Oh,
length, 2 minutes.
right.
Perfect. Could do that.
Yes.
More than a minute and a half, less than 5.
That's where you want to be.
Longer than that, and I'm going to lose interest.
Okay. Was there anything else? Their risks and rewards were done well.
Risks and rewards were done well.
Yes.
Again, more of that coming later.
Yes.
As far as takeaways that weren't done well, not a lot.
No.
Really solidly done.
Yeah.
With the exception of the first created, zero backed.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, you guys get a B. You score a B today.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
There you go.
It would have actually B plus. Would have been an A plus if you had backed 10 people. Would have been an A if you had even backed 1.
Yeah.
$1, guys.
Yeah.
$1.
And I would have given I think I would have given them an A if the third faction had something at launch.
Fair enough. That was the other negative.
That was the other negative.
Board game, not even board game.
And that's not
options.
board games a negative so much. It's just it's very limiting.
Right.
And that
Narrows
hurts
the
the
scope
Kickstarter.
of your campaign.
Correct. Yes, it limits what you can succeed with. Correct. All right, Star Troopers. It's a Jeff Rodman project.
Star Troopers.
Hey, good job.
2 words. Keep your title to under 4 words.
Yes.
Or, under 5, 4 or less.
Which is going to be very important later. However, Star Troopers did a really good job. The models were really, really well done.
Oh.
And their video, again, 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
And
Right in the strike zone.
Right in the strike zone. And so I'm going to hit all the things I think they did really well first. All right. So the video's in 2.5 minutes, which was really great. And the video was really well done. It started with concepts, right into models.
Best thing about it too is we're sitting there, we're looking at the video starts. You see spirals of renders, and we sit there and go, "That's really nice, man. I wish they had some molds done."
Boom! Molds come up like models, actual
360 review
of the metal models.
Bare metal models. Man, that's cool.
I wish I could see them painted. Boom! There comes the painted. Like it was literally
nailed it.
Like and nailed it at the right time. Literally when we were done looking at them, like I'm done with this part of the video.
Yeah.
I'd love to see. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It was perfectly done.
Perfectly
like,
done.
I think you said they get the. I think they get the award for best beginner video.
Yeah. Like this. Yeah. This was the best beginner video. I will also. I'm going to say that they are tied with Lord Huntley. Okay. Just because a man who makes me fall out of my chair laughing during his video is tough to beat.
Yes. When we have to pause your video multiple times because we are laughing so loud we can't hear him.
Yeah.
That definitely gets some qualities there.
But yeah, this is right up there. Yeah. It was an engaging video. It kept me excited. Yes. By the time I got done the video, I'm not kidding. I backed it.
Yes, he did, actually.
And then went and read the descriptions.
Yeah.
Your video did the job. I didn't even get to your campaign and I had already given you money.
So, really well done on the video. Okay, great first time out. Now, then in their descriptions, everything was laid out. Yep. What are we getting? They went with the campaign idea of you're buying in here for X amount of money.
Right.
And as things unlock, that just gets more and more value.
Yep.
Which is an interesting take, and they've got a couple different levels so you can get bigger values. But literally, it's $50 gets you this base set, and it starts at 8 models.
And goes up as they unlock
stuff. And then they have a double set, and then they have the
$100 gets you the same thing in resin.
Right.
And then they have, if you want to build an entire army or stock your store, $450 gets you 10 sets.
So yeah, and it was a great layout, great value. Clearly delineated out all the stretch goals where they came in.
Yep.
They were all defined well in imagery. A lot of
also
what they did was
bonus points on this one. Not enough people do this. They showed up an image that showed their model next to several other manufacturers.
Yes.
Because 28mm means, hey, I'm making a 28mm figure. So
yes.
This way you know exactly what size they are. They showed like 7 other manufacturers.
And, showed up a very popular one.
A very popular one from other wargaming companies.
Yes.
And, I
gotta tell you, I
did not call it by name.
That was the best part. Like, popular gaming companies, I'm backing this just because they did that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They showed in sculpt with Reaper, in sculpt with a lot of other companies. So
you get a really clear understanding of what you're getting.
As a gamer, I know what I'm dealing with.
Right, and if I have any model from any of those lines, I can literally put it down and go, that's the size I'm getting.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great job.
Yeah, it was a really, really well done, laid out campaign.
Also, I think did a good job of showing their anatomy sculpting in relation to other companies, because everyone does their anatomy a little bit different. And by seeing you right next to other models, it's easier to compare and contrast. Just people do this part. So much better.
One of the things that they did that I really liked, and I think it's a good idea for Kickstarters to do rather than other options they do, the early bird specials.
Yeah.
Sometimes early bird specials is a discount. Sometimes the early bird special is early shipping. Both of which can be problematic because if you didn't price things correctly and your value becomes too big, the discounted price is an issue.
Right.
If you promise early shipping and something happens and you're delayed, which happens with way too many Kickstarters, to be honest with you, this is a problem. I'm not getting what I bid in early for. They went with an exclusive model. I really like that idea.
I'm surprised you did. I was going to go the other way with it.
Okay.
If it's and again, it's based on
And I
whether
know
or
why
not I
you're
can get
gonna
the
go-
model later or not.
Yeah, and I get why you went the other way.
Because if I'm the 51st person that wants to back this program and I
Could be
go,
a problem.
oh cool, I can get a medic model, no I can't.
Yeah, and it can be problematic in that way. I grant you that. But it was a different take on the early bird special part of it, which I thought was interesting. May not be the best idea
Now,
going
I
forward,
believe in
but
this case that the medic is not
exclusive.
is not an exclusive model. That it will be available
It's
later
just exclusive
on.
as an extra piece
Right.
in your kit. So I get an extra free model. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, but if it is exclusive where only 50 of these are ever going to be made, that could be, or however many.
Right.
You know, because there's other birds at each of those pledge levels. But that could be problematic in that this is a model that no one else can get. Now, I say it's only problematic if that sculpt is only available for 200.
Right.
It sucks a little bit, but if I can still get a model to fill out that role in your force
Later
for your
on,
game,
right. Then it's less.
then
of an
it's
issue.
less. It's just a different sculpt. I can live with that, you know. But it was an interesting take, and I thought, from a business end, was a very sound take.
It was a nice new spin on how to do
early birds.
birds.
Yes.
Which is always a problem because
Somebody's always getting left out.
no matter how you do an early bird, someone's going to complain.
Yes.
And if you don't do early birds,
Someone's
going
gonna
to complain.
So, I thought it was an interesting take. I'm interested to see how much feedback they get one way or the other. If we ever can hear about that, if they want to tell us, that'd be awesome. All right. So, our next project.
Did we have any negatives on this one?
Well, they're first backed and
Yeah.
zero created.
First backed, zero created.
Yeah, I did that backwards. First created, zero backed.
Fix that.
Yes.
5 minutes, $10 right now. Fix it.
Other than that, I don't really.
Yeah,
that
they were pretty solid.
They were pretty solid. They're a good example of how to do it well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, for a first timer, man, really solid.
Yeah.
The only thing that I might suggest
Okay.
is, I really loved your video.
There's one other thing. Go ahead.
I'm going to mention that at the end of the video, it says what program was used for the video and the scrolling. I'm not familiar enough with this program, but generally that only happens if you're using the shareware edition of your editing software.
Okay. So maybe it wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
Okay.
Now, maybe this didn't, and they just put it up there anyway.
Because they wanna
but
do that.
generally, produced by iMagic, produced by whatever,
iMovie, I think it was. Yeah.
is going to be you're using the shareware edition. Not a big thing. Most people won't care. It comes down to, do you want to spend $100 to buy your software or $100 to pay somebody else to do that part that owns the software to avoid making it look like you don't have the materials to run your company properly?
There's that. Okay. I was sitting here going, I wonder why that's an issue, and then you hit it.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, no, that makes sense. It makes it look like you didn't have enough money to buy the iMovie software.
Exactly.
I got
And
you.
if you don't have enough money to buy software, do you have enough money to buy blister packs?
Right.
Like, it creates one doubt.
Right. And
it's a very small
We're
one.
being nitpicky, and we're not going to lie here, but there are people who will be this nitpicky.
Yeah.
Which is why you try to avoid these things.
However, as I say often, if I have to nitpick about what
done
you're
well.
doing wrong, you're doing really good.
There were actually two more things that I think about it that I wanted to mention. First off, the sculpts are being done by Bobby Jackson.
Yes.
So it's another Bobby
This is
Jackson
not negative.
project.
That's a good thing.
This is a good thing.
Bobby Jackson's awesome. We like Bobby Jackson.
As a negative, they gave it's a first created, zero backed, and he goes, it starts off with his name. I'm Jeff Rodman, and he gives some alias that he uses at Ironroot
from Fortress Figures.
Thank you, Fortress Figures, and I've been doing this for 10 years, but anybody can, and I'm not saying he did. And again, I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but anybody can make a claim that I've been doing this for 10 years. If you're going to make those type of claims, there should be something should be tangible in the Kickstarter. Don't maybe go research it. Give me something tangible there that I can point at and say, all right, this guy actually does know what he's talking about.
And again, fair point.
I'm being nitpicky.
I was okay with that part. I thought that the phrasing of those first sentences was a little bit wonky.
Which I agree with.
Token Gamer Chick was like, so is this Jeff that's writing this? Is someone writing it for Jeff? Talking about Jeff? Is he the sculptor? It got a little confusing on there. And anytime you cause confusion, you cost your company money.
Yes.
So a little bit of wordsmithing, but other than that, very solid.
Yep. All right.
Again, I'm going to give this one B plus.
I'm going to say B plus.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I got to catch my breath here to say this one. Custom tabletop war gaming ultra realistic turf terrain. Or for those of you who like abbreviations, CTWGURTT. Or for those of you who like anagrams, S.T.A.R. root. I don't know. Sitwar Groot? Gert?
Sitwagert.
Sitwar Gert. There you go.
Sitwagert.
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 Yes.
All right, so Sitwagert.
Sitwagert. Your name's too damn long. Let's just start with that.
Okay, ready? If I was writing this Kickstarter.
Yes. 3 words, I got it.
Okay, let's play. I can name this Kickstarter in 3 words.
Yep.
All right, go for 3. I was going to go for 4. My 4 was going to be custom wargaming realistic texture.
Okay. I was going to actually use 3 words that are in there. Custom turf terrain.
Okay. I was using wargaming as a keyword pick.
And I got you.
Fine.
And I get where you went with it.
Okay.
But that's what it was, custom turf terrain.
Yeah.
Because terrain would get you a huge pull on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we actually search for a lot of our Kickstarters.
Yep.
Terrain.
By the way, there are 2 fields in the entire Kickstarter page that Kickstarter keyword searches when you put in a word for the search, which is why the name is less important, because it searches the well, all right, technically 3, but one of them is irrelevant because
Okay.
it's going to be the Kickstarter name, the Kickstarter creator,
Right. Which is the irrelevant part, really.
right, and that first description box.
Gotcha.
It can pick any word that is repeated in that starter box. So say the word wargaming twice, say the word terrain twice, and it actually doesn't need to be in the title of your Kickstarter.
I did not know that.
Nope.
There you go. Okay.
That's why I get paid for this.
Yes. All right. So this particular Kickstarter is being created by Joe.
Joe. Does Joe have a last name?
No, not that I know of. I have no idea.
I think Joe's an android.
Joe might be an android.
Joe's one of our robot masters.
It's one
I'm
of
a big fan of the robot masters.
He's a robot master, absolutely.
Joe.
So Joe.
So Joe, the first strike on you.
Joe.
If that is your real name.
Right, like, because literally, I looked at that and go back, created by Joe.
Which is only worse because it's
Joe. Right, like you have a name this long, and your name is this.
Well, when you put 8 words in your title, you can't afford a last name.
Yeah, right. He's paying by the letter. I didn't realize.
Apparently.
Is he trying to compensate for something?
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. So,
Apparently not, because he only went with Joe.
Joe, right? Apparently he's fine.
Yeah. Created by Kerthunk, Joe. No compensation required.
No compensation. So, if you haven't gotten the point yet, Joe, put your last name, please.
Because we want to know who you are.
Because that matters to people who are going to buy your products.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me explain why. There are some skeevy people in this industry.
Oh,
if you're not familiar with this,
good
you're
for you.
fortunate.
Yeah.
However, there are some people, and by the way, one of them is named Joe, that if they're ever in charge of a project, I'm never throwing money at it because these suckers still owe me money.
Sure.
So if I find out you're that guy, you don't get money. If I can't find out for sure you're not that guy,
You don't get money.
you might not get money.
Right.
Just a little thing.
All right.
By the way, I don't think this is that Joe.
I don't think
at
this
all.
is either.
I'm not even trying to insinuate it is, but that's a fear
out
for
there.
people. Yeah.
Right. Not being able to figure out who you are will turn people off.
Yes.
Okay. First created, 0 backed. Enough said.
Rewind, playback.
Yeah. What size is your product? What am I actually getting? I'm getting sample sizes of his turf terrain, which, by the way, looks amazing. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have no idea what a sample pack is. Is it enough to do 1 base, like this guy? Is it enough to do a foot of table? I have no idea.
Because literally, I have seen samples and the 1/4 ounce bags all the way through
To
half a tub.
Right. Nothing there.
I don't know what you're offering, so I don't know if the price is a good price for what you're offering.
Yep. All right, so next.
And by the way, Joe, that is an easy fix.
Yeah.
You can edit, I believe...
Your Kickstarter.
Yes, you can. You can edit the info descriptors on your Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
In the description, say for X ounce sample bags,
Right.
not for sample bags.
There's actually another way he can fix it. Yeah,
Just show one?
Well, no. He doesn't have a video.
Ah.
So you can put a video up that shows your sample box. Show you playing with your samples.
Yeah.
You don't have a video. Did we mention that the sweet spot on a video is between
2 minutes
a
to
minute
5
and a half,
minutes.
2 minutes, 5 minutes? 0 is not in that range.
And it's not that it hurts your program in that it
We've
makes me
seen
less
them that
likely
work.
to back.
Right.
It hurts your program in that it doesn't make me more likely to back.
Right.
If I saw spin shots of several of your different textures of turf
I
on
don't need a
several
video.
functions, I'm done. I'm sold. Like,
Right. You've given me what I've gotten,
Yeah.
but your Kickstarter isn't giving me what the video could have given me. So one or the other had to give it to me, and neither of them have so far.
Exactly.
Okay. The third thing, challenges. And we're gonna
Risk and challenges.
Risks and challenges. All right. I'm gonna start, and if I miss anything, you let me know. All right, because you've done some talking. You've got to
You go on, Padawan.
All right. If you're risking challenges, that section is where you literally are supposed to talk me out of buying your project. That's the way you need to approach that section. Give me every reason why this is not a good idea for me. Because here's the thing. If I can think of one thing that you didn't think of in your risks, or didn't address your risks and challenges, I'm less likely to do it. If I can think of 2, I'm not. Because now I'm calling into question whether or not you know what you're doing.
Yep.
So when your risks and challenges literally say, well, I've got all the terrain, all I need is this for packaging. Really? You don't have to worry about shipping or labeling or just basic
Marketing
storage,
costs.
marketing. Like I can think of there's 4 right there, like that you didn't address. Now I'm not backing because you haven't shown me anywhere in here yet that you know exactly everything you're getting yourself into. Owning a business and running a business and being successful, which a Kickstarter what we're doing here are businesses.
Yes.
You need a certain level of acumen and understanding of everything that's going to go into it. And some of your backers, like us, who do videos, who talk about your projects, are going to call you on when you don't talk about the stuff we know about.
Yep.
And it's not to say that you didn't do it. It's not to say that you don't know these things. And Joe, you might have all of this ironed out, but you've yet to convey to me that you have it all ironed out. And I'm the consumer, and I need to know that you're on the ball.
Right.
Or otherwise, I'm not going to give you money because that's a risk of Kickstarters, is that we give out money on the hopes of product. And when I'm less likely to believe that you're going to fulfill on product, you're less likely to get my hope.
Which makes them less likely to get your
My
money.
money, right. Okay?
Yeah,
Did I miss anything?
Risk and challenges is this weird bizarro world setting
Yeah.
where you need to tell me all the reasons why things could go wrong.
Yep.
Because if you tell me that you've addressed that these could go wrong, I'm more likely to believe it won't.
Right.
So the more things you bring up in the negative, the more positive it makes the page.
Yep.
For example, one of my favorite ones, one of my favorite examples, and this will never ever die. You'll see this a lot of times in literary Kickstarters.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy who ran a Kickstarter, and it's sad that we will harp on this dude in infamy for the rest of his natural life. He ran it. He was a successful writer. He's already been published. Who suffers from some mental disorders.
Sure.
Okay. Which congratulations, you're a writer.
Yeah, right.
He had a nervous breakdown following delays to his Kickstarter and put up a ranting video of him lighting the books on fire.
How did I miss this?
I'll show it to you. It's
Oh,
great.
my Lord.
So every once in a while, when people, it's something to look for. When people put up a Kickstarter for, risks and challenges. Okay, look, weird things could happen, but I promise I won't do this. And they put in a link, and then they move on. And it's like, because that is now an understood risk. Your writer could go nazo in the middle of the Kickstarter
And flambe your Kickstarter.
and decide to turn the Kickstarter into a box of s'mores. So
That is amazing.
so that's now a risk.
It sucks for everyone who backed it, and if you backed it and I'm laughing and you're offended, I apologize. But if you weren't a backer, that's funny.
It's some funny stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a risk.
Yes.
It's addressed. If you're running a Kickstarter with models in it, even if they're already sculpted, unless I'm seeing finished, there's not molds. There might not be masters. You certainly don't have a supply chain set up yet. If it's a Kickstarter for turf, do I know that you have a large enough supplier to be able to maintain $1 million plan for selling your turf. Like, you could wind up getting enough backers in this where the 5-pound tub that you thought was going to last you all year needs to be replaced to fund the Kickstarter. Do you have that accounted for? These are things that we don't know. So the more you put in risks and challenges, the better off it is. This is not where you go, all right, so I'm good, I'm the guy you want to hire, give me the job, I'm solid.
No, that's not how you do this.
No.
That's what you're supposed to do before you get to this part.
Right.
Then when you get to this part, I'm supposed to go, all right, so what do you think could stop you from making this happen?
Yeah, why aren't you the best candidate?
Why aren't you my best candidate? And if you can answer those questions honestly, you get my business.
Right.
Okay. I think we've nailed that one.
Yeah, and now instilling that risk and challenges, you bring up all of these problems. And if you're smart, you then follow it with why it's already addressed.
Yeah.
Yes, this is potentially a risk. Here's how I intend to handle it. Yes, this could fall through. Here's my backup plan.
Right. Perfect.
If you feel the need to give me that, go for it.
Right.
But just going, no, I've got backup plans. Really?
Not enough. Yeah, really? Like, are they drawn on napkins?
Yeah.
Like,
Don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
So, now, we've been beating on this one for a little bit, and we
Right.
apologize, Joe.
And this isn't directly Joe. This is just the first one where we had the opportunity to talk about this point.
But I am going to point out, Joe did some really good things.
Yes.
His imagery is really, really solid.
Photography top notch.
Yeah,
Photography
like,
top notch.
I believe his packaging looked like I would see packaging in a store where you'd see the miniature train.
It looks better than most of the packaging I've seen in a store.
Like I was actually I looked at it. I thought I was looking at something like from what's that company? Woodland Scenics.
Yeah.
Like it was that level. Like that. It looked good. Like I wanted to believe in the product.
Right.
It was just everything else that we had issues with.
Right.
So I think this product probably is good. But I'm not going to put money on it until I know how much I'm getting.
Right.
Because I don't know if what you're charging me is a good value or not. If I have no idea what size samples I'm getting. So Joe, if you're watching this, go fix that right now. Just fix that now. Like stop the video, go fix that, because that will get people to back you once they understand what the value of what they're getting. Because that's one other thing we look at Kickstarter. A lot of people do is, am I getting a decent value? It doesn't have to be a ridiculously good value. I've backed things that were moderate values, but I have to know that I'm not overpaying.
Right.
Yeah, give us a volume. Give us a standard square inches covered by a sample.
Yeah.
Anything. Whatever you feel like measuring
Show
it out
me a
with.
picture with your hand and the sample in it. Even.
Yeah.
Something for
me scale.
Show me the sample scattered on a tray.
Right.
With a quarter in the shot, so I know.
Right, so I know how much.
coverage.
Right. Like just give me some idea.
Yeah. This project right now, I'm going to rate it D.
Yeah.
As soon as it has a measurement in for what I'm actually buying, C+.
Okay.
That's literally the difference, man.
I was gonna go B minus actually. I think it's that
Okay.
important. But okay. But yeah, like you can become a project that I actually look at and go, well, all right, damn, now I know what I'm getting.
Literally. Everyone in this room, all three of us, is going to check this thing in like 3 days. And if there's
some type of size there,
you're getting money.
yeah, because we do plenty of models. I don't know if you noticed. All right, so I want to end on a really, really positive first time out guy.
Okay.
Okay. You and I both looked at these models and went, wow. Well, renders. And went, waha. All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know where you're going.
Yes. All right. Whew. So, Tercios Miniatures. And I think I said that right. It is Spanish, and I could have butchered it.
Tercios, I believe, is correct.
Okay. Video length.
I'm going to say it's in Portuguese rather than Spanish, unfortunately, but yeah, I believe it's Tercios.
Tercios. Okay. It's a historical miniatures, like French musketeer level time frame.
Spanish, but 17th century.
Okay, is it Spanish? It says musketeers. I thought they were French.
I believe those helmets are specifically Spanish.
Okay. I will stand corrected then. I apologize. I thought they were musketeers. But anyway, 17th century Spanish instead of French. I apologize.
We'll double check.
Yeah.
We'll let you know next week.
All right, but video length was perfect. 2 minutes on the dot.
Yeah.
Done. Spot on. And it's just a video of the renders in a cycle, spinning them so that we can see different angles on these renders. Now, it is all renders, literally the Kickstarters to build the molds and all that. So he's admitting right up front, I don't have these yet. That's what this is
Risks
for.
and challenges.
There it is. But it's also multilingual and done well.
Yes.
Like the English portions, all right, there's a couple things where I went, all right, they missed that. But either they speak English very well, or they got a professional translator on a certain level
Right.
who did a really good job. You can understand everything that's going on here, even if there's like a word missing.
If the English sections were not written by a native speaker, I am surprised and kudos to who wrote it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
Because this was solid. People who have tried doing projects where they rely on Google Translator to translate them.
I failed.
Yeah.
Because of that.
The amount of money you spend on a translator comes back tenfold.
Yes, it's worth it. And if you can't launch a project today because you can't afford this translator, get the money together before you launch a project. Because you're just going to not get your project funded.
Yeah.
If I can't understand it, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a nasty American. If I can't understand what you're saying, I'm not going to buy from you.
It's true. It's just the nature of the business.
Yeah. All right.
I wish more gamers were bilingual. I wish everyone was bilingual.
Yes.
But until they are,
right, it's not going to happen.
You got to pander.
All right, so the model pack sizes, like literally, you know exactly what you're getting, very well described in pictures, in imagery, and written
laid out
out
in text,
like
in 2 languages.
Right, like it was so well done, and every pack has the renders pictured right there. Their stretch goals, the renders are on this. So you know exactly what your stretch goals are. So that wait, we're only a couple $100 away from that thing. I'm gonna make sure that happens because I want that thing. And oh my God, these are so gorgeous. So gorgeous, these renders.
Yep.
Like literally, I brought it up and I went, you need to look at this. And he brought it up and went, oh.
Yeah. We literally we were immediately upset that we don't play a game in that time frame.
Yes, we literally said, we did both of that.
We're
I need to find a
literally
reason for
thinking
this.
about picking up a 14th game.
Just so we can have these models.
Just to have a way to play with these freaking
Which,
models.
oh, by the way, this Kickstarter is the first of their own models for games that they have launched previous, but not via Kickstarter.
Right.
And so there are rules to play with these models.
Yep. And how can I get those rules?
Oh, there's a link on the page to get the short version of them for free. So you can't get the full rule book for free, but you can get a version to play the game for free on the Kickstarter website.
Enough said.
Yeah. Okay. There's exclusive figures.
That gets your money every single time.
Every single time. I love exclusive figures. There's so many different packs that are available. Like there's something that we found stuff that we could put into other games that we play. Like there's just so many other ways. We literally looked at some things that played. Oh, the religious iconography there would work in a couple other games that are that even genre.
The casualties pack.
Oh my God! The
Even if we find no way to play with these models, I want to pick up that pack just to do dioramas. Just to do dioramas.
Yeah, the swordsman laying up against his horse, you fell in love with that guy.
Totally.
I gotta tell you, I fell in love with Boromir. You'll understand when you look at the picture.
Yeah, the classic Boromir pose.
Yes. The free rules, and then the risks and rewards. Not only were they well risks and challenges, not rewards, excuse me.
Yes.
Not only were they well laid out, they were well laid out in 2 languages.
Yeah.
Like, they nailed it. They literally kicked this out of the park. Here's my only complaint about this guy. First created, 0 backed.
Yep. Just cost him $300.
Yep.
On average.
Yeah. Easily. Just there. Oh, and this one's already funded.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I mean, the models definitely made up for that one drawback. But everything that we've said that are bad things, you go look at Star Troopers and Tercios, and you'll see what we mean by when it's done right.
Yeah. Make your programs look like these, and surprise, you'll get funded.
Yeah. That's how it happens, guys. I mean, literally, you get people throwing money at you when they haven't finished reading the page.
Yeah.
He does it all the time.
All the time.
All the time. All right.
So, score on this one?
I can't give it an A because of the first created 0 backed. So I'm going to go B+.
Even with the first created 0 backed, I'm going to give it a score of a 98. Like,
okay.
He did enough other bonus points to make up for the 10-point. Or maybe I should score it a B?
I'm not sure if that caught on camera, but literally he said, I'm going to give it a 98 and thunder and lightning outside. So apparently somebody doesn't agree.
No longer an A+. I'm going to give it a B+. Because I don't want to get struck by lightning.
But Eddie, again, how do you think it got white? Anyway.
No mutant powers, though. I'm really upset by that.
You weren't bitten by a snake at the same time.
That's what happened. Next time we'll get the snake ready.
I need to be bitten by a
cobra.
Cobra.
At the same time, we get
struck by lightning. How do you time that?
It's so tough. That's why they don't happen often.
Yep.
All right. But that is the end of our lessons on what to do right and wrong in Kickstarters. We hope that they were helpful for your projects that you might have coming in the future. For those of you who watched, I'm trying to finish, I swear. For those of you who are in these projects, and if you watched and you see what we talked about, and you go and fix them, go fix them, you have time. If you're a guy who has had bad projects and you're like, why can't I get my project to fund? Here's all your stuff. Oh, and by the way, this man does actually do this for a living.
Yeah.
He helps people doctor their Kickstarters, so you can contact us to be like, help me.
And I will, anybody that wants, I will review your Kickstarter for free because I want to see people succeed. And then I will give you ideas on where you can go from there. What you decide to do is up to you. But everybody has room to improve. That's just the nature of the business. No matter how good you are, you can make it better. Here were a bunch of people doing it well. Stop. They were doing it well. No, stop. They were doing it well. Back these companies, back these Kickstarters. These are solid-looking projects that I think are going to fund.
Absolutely.
I'm really good at picking out goose eggs, guys. In 17 backed Kickstarters, I've only ever had one duck. One.
He's beating me. I have 49 backed, and I've got at least 4 or 5 ducks.
Yep. And a couple of them I even said, don't do that one. This is where it's a problem, and this is where it's a problem.
I should listen.
I want to give them some. I want to give them help. They'll make it. They did.
Right. And they didn't. Guess what? I don't not listen to this man anymore.
Yeah. There's a couple key things to watch for, and if you see them, you just avoid that Kickstarter like the plague because these people think they know more than they do.
Right.
And that's my system.
Perfect.
Yep.
So thank you very much for watching our Kickstarter show. We hope that we gave you some ideas, and if you don't play This Is Not a Test, go back that because it's worth playing. If you are into 15mm
What's This Is Not a
games,
Test got? Like 3 weeks left still?
3 weeks. It's like 3 weeks left. It's already $25,000, almost at $25,000 of a $1,000 goal.
Yeah.
What was it?
$2,000.
$2,000 goal.
Yeah.
I want to see it get to 30,000 and up just so I can watch Joey's heart explode.
Okay, fair enough. If you're into 15mm sci-fi gaming, go look at Global Defense. And if you like modern guys, and I'm trying to finish, I swear. If you like modern figures, go look at Modern Figures for Gaming, Bobby Jackson, 28mm US and Opposing Forces.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch those guys again real quick because
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time on everything else.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much for watching. I am Belgrath97. This is
Second class elitist.
and we are going to go find out what's left in our wallet.